opportunity to highlight the unsatisfactory condition of Glenkeen. What is now St. Bridget's Cemetery was finally secured and opened for Catholic burials in 1932. However, the priests and the doctors' uncomplimentary statements as to the state of the Glenkeen graveyard had not gone unnoticed by the County Council authorities. Inspections were carried out and the resultant reports were to show that the good cleric and doctor were not exaggerating. Over the next few years, rumours came and went about the closing of Glenkeen. By 1938, these had gathered so much credence that an air of discontent had gathered around the matter. In an attempt by the council to explain their position and press ahead with the closure, a public meeting was fixed for the Courthouse in Borrisoleigh on December 14th, 1937. Upwards of 150 people whose families had burial rights in Glenkeen were invited to the meeting and afforded the opportunity to address the meeting if they so wished. The local press, in fact, at the time reported that 200 people were packed into the courtroom and another estimated 400 were on the street outside. Dr. J.D. McCormack, local government inspector, chaired the meeting, and Dr. J.F. McCarthy, county medical officer, presented the case for the council. They are accompanied on the top platform by Deputy Seamus Burke TD.
I propose to the meeting the closing of Glenkeen graveyard on foot of Dr. Power's recent report that has been submitted to my office. Many graves are just no more than mounds with corpses buried no more than a foot beneath the surface. Everywhere there are rat holes and rabbit burrows. The graveyard is full beyond capacity. Many graves have no marked or are marked with simple field stones. In the interest of public health and public decency, I am sure we all agree that the closing of the graveyard is the proper course of action to take.
I now invite testimony from all interested parties. I ask that you come forward. Please give your name and your position on the proposal before this meeting.
Phil Maher from Courthouse. I want to be buried in Glenkeen.
Come on, Phil.
John Burke of Chapel Street. We get our graves over 200 years ago. Whenever there's a Burke of Chapel Street to be buried, it's in Glenkeen they'll be buried. Right. William Burke in Cullehill. Our family have been buried here in Glenkeen since the time of St. Patrick. And if ye think we'll come down and be buried under the floor of an old preaching church, well, you can think again. Hey,
I never realised the graveyard was that old.
There'll be no closing at Glenkeen Cemetery.
Sorry, who are you?
There'll be no closing at Glenkeen Cemetery. I'm Tom Crowley in Chapel Street.
You can put down that gun.
We'll bury at the dead of night.
Put down the gun.
We'll bury where our fathers and forefathers buried.
Is that what you think?
You want
Is that what you think?
new rules for
Is that what you think?
Go on now and have whatever inquiry you like.
You better have that. Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. For the sake of order, I ask that people come forward and give their depositions. Ouch, you.
Seamus Burke TD. I'm claiming burial rights here today in Glenkeen graveyard for my family and my brother in New York and his family. And mark my words, if you close the graveyard here, I tell you one thing, we'll bring the guns out of hiding from the roof or the thatch, wherever they may be, and we will be not one bit shy about using them. Mark my words. Now, there'll be no more word on the subject. Go on now, let you and have your inquiry.
Well, man, young Burke, a rock forest. And from the new bridge in Templederry down as far as the bridge in Fishmile, there won't be a #1 vote that you won't get come next election day.
Ah, Tom, well done, Tom. Fair play to Tom Crowley.
I would like to remind the people that this is no more than an inquiry. No decision has been made.
You'll do not.
And you won't do little either.
No decision was actually taken on the occasion. A suggestion was made about approaching a neighbouring farmer to sell some land so as to facilitate the graveyard being extended, but nothing ever came of that suggestion. Burials continued, but intermittently. People began taking family plots in the new St. Bridget's cemetery. Within a few short years, the serious situation that was discussed at the highly charged meeting in the Courthouse in December of 1938 in Borrisoleigh resolved itself. There were no funerals in the dead of night, and the guns remained in their hiding place. Well done, Tom. Where's Johnny now?